If only I loved something this much. If only I gave myself to any passion with this fervent dedication, precision and knowledge. Do you know what I mean? Seeing someone express their passion so ruthlessly can be one of the most inspiring things ever. And I've never seen a character demonstrate such raw dedication to their craft like mine, this cute little blue-haired bookworm. This show might be called Ascendance of a Bookworm, but the bookworm part is the interchangeable part here, really. The ascendance part, though, is where anyone can take something valuable out of this. But if you appreciate books, well, even better. Once upon a time, there was a librarian who was an authentic bookworm. Her life was literally surrounded by books, and she breathed books day in and day out. Until one day, no, not hit by a truck, but by the very shelves she worked with. Damn. Her art killed her, literally. But with that, yes, she's reincarnated into another world, where she gets a chance to become a pioneer and to find her voice in the art of books, in the very history of books, her biggest passion. This girl takes over the frail body of Mine, a mid-class family's youngest daughter. She quite easily embodies her new identity and adjusts to her new heartwarming family, which is the most wholesome pillar of this story in my eyes. One of the most pure, idealized, peaceful and loving families in anime is right here to me. Of course, as soon as she makes sense of her situation, Mine rushes in search for books. Any book would do.
じゃあ、母さんと一緒に買い物に行こうか。
買い物？家の中にはなかったけど、外に行けば本屋があるかも。
She just wanted to have a book in her hands. She quickly gets enchanted when she realizes there are books in that medieval world, but only for high classes. A single book was still a true relic.
まったくもう！もし本があれば寂しくないよ。
Her objective becomes instantly clear. She's going to become a librarian in that world as well. And for that, she needs books. Well, to make books, she needs something to write on, something to write with, and even the mere concept of making a single sheet of paper was a complete hurdle. Through her multiple trials and errors, we see Mine dealing with the very real frustrations of lack of materials, lack of connections, bureaucracies, people and natural occurrences getting in the way of her work, and so on and so on. The very real frustrations of any artist, any creator, any ambitious person.
なんて無理だよね。どうすればいいかしらね。
Making a single book is a whole project that Mine decides to undertake despite her limitations, both physical and social. Her mid to low class family background wasn't gonna stop her from getting to the important people she had to reach in order to accomplish her next objectives, even if that meant getting inside that corrupt church system and adapting to it, all while sticking to her values. No amount of bad luck or undermining talk was gonna keep her head down for long. We do see her struggles, but most importantly and most interestingly, we see how she overcomes every issue with her bold, passionate personality and her smug, determined demeanor. She is, after all, an adult in the body of a child, and since she keeps most of her memories, she is rapidly noticed by everyone around her as a genius craftswoman and business lady. She gets better at things she wasn't prepared at all to undertake, like mastering the art of negotiations, understanding the markets she had to resort to in order to get materials, etc, etc. And this is another inspiring thing about Mine. The things she improves at over the series aren't her end goal at all. All we see her going through are merely rocks she finds in the middle of her path to one day reclaiming her life as a bookworm in that world. And nothing can stop her fiery dream.
私による私のための図書室にしてしまえばいいんだ
Mine needs to rely a lot on her family and friends to execute even the most seemingly basic tasks. She literally needs to be carried around so she doesn't outright black out from exhaustion. but these interactions also end up helping in her development, since she is forced to resort to her loved ones and to accept that she needs to ask for help sometimes. This way, she avoids getting too full of herself and becoming blindsided by her own dreams and ambitions, all while taking care of herself and nurturing the fundamental emotional relationships in her life, which become increasingly harder to obtain as she climbs the social ladder. Nevertheless, she always finds a way to get inside people's hearts. In her steps towards entering the religious part of society through her achievements, we can tell very consistently how her love for books reigns above anything else. She might be weak, but she exerts herself beyond her limits to do everything she can to fill a single page of a book. She might not understand the intricacies of the system, and she might even detest it, but she informs herself, makes connections by helping people with her knowledge and craftsmanship, and builds a very solid group of trustworthy people around her. That empathy is what drives everything forward. In other words, mine is the perfect passionate entrepreneur and the perfect employer and boss. Now, all this may seem like a given, but what motivates someone to go through so many obstacles just to make a book? I mean, there are too many things to work around. Technical knowledge of materials, deep understanding of different production processes, ever-increasing human resources management, hierarchical psychological games, on top of having to take extra care than usual for self-preservation. All these are simple things for someone completely driven by the pure anticipation of idealizing, creating, feeling, reading a single book. The story of Ascendance of a Bookworm ends up taking many detours by virtue of us following mine's path, which only increases in complexity over time. In the second season, the dynamics inside the church are carefully peeled out, and in the third season the magic system gets explored a bit more, but its tone never varies dramatically from one arc to the next. We are also constantly blessed, yes, every single episode, by cute animations illustrating Mine's thoughts through her chibi version. Even when things get too political, business related or dramatic, the overall atmosphere is more lighthearted than not, mostly focusing on Mine's development as she understands the ever-changing environments she ends up getting herself into, all for the pursuit of her immovable passion for books. The true bliss of this series is in appreciating every single small step Mine takes and every tribulation and failures she encounters, and in the end, all those contribute to fuel the artistic fire inside of her. Mine got to live an entire life, nearly from zero, to work on her passion alone, fully aware of and dedicated to her craft, which only made her appreciate the beauty and work that goes behind a single book even more than in her previous life. Of course, that's not how things work for us. We don't get to live a life from zero in a world without the internet to make us bored enough to the point of wanting to finally work in our passions and projects. But how relevant is it if we are 7 or 27 years old? We have our experience behind us. We have our life story supporting the weight of the being we are today. We may not have the quirks of having the body of a child, but even better, the creativity, the dreams, the passion are all still there, even if dormant. Yes, the entire processes, technical jargon or knowledge of a subject might intimidate us, easily making us feel like the tiresome means don't justify the ends, but it's possible to see how, by reverently grasping the feeling we want to create on a consistent basis, one can easily fuel their own dreams and ambitions, no matter how far apart from us the end goal might seem. While I didn't become a bookworm after watching Bookworm, it actually gave me a more profound appreciation for books, and it moved me to buy more books and read them, even if not every day. Yeah, you guys get it. But as I said initially, books are somewhat secondary in Ascendance of a Bookworm. In it, through mine, I got a taste of what it looks like to experience a life journey dedicated to deeply understand and experience any art that can truly move us, and how much it can fuel and enrich our very beings. And that is why I appreciate this quirky and passionate blue-haired girl. So glad to have you here. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more anime essays on anime I love and upcoming recommendations videos. Stay awesome.
魔術の炎